Brian Anderson. Behind only shortstop Miguel Rojas, the third baseman is the longest tenured Miami Marlin. That's not saying much, considering Anderson made his major league debut in 2017, but on a roster that has seen a considerable amount of turnover lately, you could call him a veteran. In fact, Anderson and Rojas are the only two players who were on the 2017 40-man roster still on the Marlins. Two other players came close though. Jose Urena, who was designated for assignment when the Marlins traded for reliever Adam Cimber this past November, later signed with the Detroit Tigers, and Adam Conley, who tested positive for COVID-19 before the 2020 season started, never got into a game, and was designated for assignment before the trade deadline. Conley went unclaimed and would sign a deal with the Rakuten Golden Eagles in Japan. So yeah, Anderson has been around for a while, at least by Marlins standards. He was drafted by the Marlins in 2014, and as mentioned, he made his debut in 2017 at the age of 24. Since 2017, Anderson has produced the 17th most WAR per Fangraphs, which is wins above replacement, among third basemen, right below Mike Moustakas and Rafael Devers. I think the time is right for the Marlins to offer Anderson an extension, if they haven't already. No one would argue that Miguel Rojas is the team leader, but by the time Rojas' contract runs out, either in 2021 or 2022, one of the Marlins' middle infield prospects should be ready to take his place. However, the Marlins don't have a ready replacement for Anderson. Since he debuted, he's been one of the best position players for the Marlins, and they shouldn't let him get away. Anderson, if the Marlins don't extend him, won't be a free agent until 2024, so they have time. He's not making much in arbitration now. He settled with the Marlins for $3.8 million this past offseason, but that number could quickly go up if his performance improves. I think Rafael Devers is an interesting comparison, even though he is a lot younger. Devers is 24 and Anderson is 27, but otherwise the two third basemen are very similar. Devers agreed with the Red Sox in arbitration on a contract for $4,575,000 this past offseason. Devers also becomes a free agent in 2024, and has generated 8.2 Fangraphs WAR, which I will refer to as F-WAR, since he debuted in 2017, compared to Anderson's 7.8 F-WAR since 2017, and they're very similar value-wise. If you want to look at baseball reference WAR instead, which I will call B-WAR, Devers has generated 6.3 compared to Anderson's 8.7. However, you do have to consider that Anderson has played some right field throughout his career, while Devers has only played third base. I think that's why there's some discrepancy between the two numbers. Anyway, once you look at the alternatives, you'll realize that the Marlins have to make an effort to keep Anderson around. The Marlins don't have any third base prospects in their top 30 list. They have many pitching, outfield, and middle infield prospects, but no third base. I know prospects aren't set in stone, and with the 2020 minor league season being lost, and the state of the 2021 minor league season being uncertain, we could see some of the Marlins prospects play different positions in order to get playing time. But why deal with so much uncertainty? There aren't many free agent third basemen who the Marlins would go for in the near future either. As we've heard a lot lately with him being traded to the Cardinals, Nolan Arenado could opt out of his contract after this upcoming season or the season after that. However, Arenado has said that he thinks he'll stick around in St. Louis. Jose Ramirez could become a free agent after the 2022 or 2023 season, depending on if Cleveland exercises their team option on him. Chris Bryant becomes a free agent after the 2021 season. A cheaper option could be Evan Longoria, who could become a free agent after the 2023 or 2024 season, depending on if the Giants use his option, although he would be a lot older than the other players mentioned. All of this is besides the point. As long as the Marlins have Brian Anderson, they're going to play him. Even if he does decline, I don't see the Marlins trading or signing another third baseman to replace him, no matter how bad he becomes. If the Marlins were to offer Anderson an extension, I would consider something around 5 years, $65 million, or 6 years, $75 million. For context, Yoan Moncada of the White Sox signed a 5-year, $70 million extension back in March of 2020, largely based off of his breakout 2019 campaign. Alex Bregman signed a 5-year, $100 million contract extension with the Astros after his third season, albeit being a more valuable player during those seasons than Anderson has been so far. In fact, during Bregman's first 3 seasons, he put up about twice as much F-WAR and B-WAR as Anderson has, so you could look at Bregman as the high end of the third baseman extension market. The problem is, I think the Marlins might have already missed the boat. Going back to last season, there were rumors of the Marlins offering Anderson an extension, but nothing materialized. On February 2nd, it was reported by Craig Mish in the Miami Herald that Kim Ng, the new general manager of the Marlins, wanted to see Brian Anderson play this year before she makes a decision on a potential contract extension. Big mistake, in my opinion. Brian Anderson is the perfect candidate to become the leader of the Marlins once they move on from Rojas. He's been around the team for his whole career, and a deal like the one I mentioned before would keep him around through the 2025 or 2026 season at a certain price. Instead, Kim Ng runs the risk of driving Anderson out of Miami. While I doubt this will lead to another Christian Yelich situation, with Anderson demanding a trade, we could see a scenario this season where Anderson continues to improve and sets himself up to make more money through arbitration than the Marlins are comfortable with. That's what happened with JT Realmuto, who was the Marlins starting catcher in 2017, improved in 2018 before they made him a serious extension offer, and by then he was worth more than they were willing to pay. The Marlins shouldn't let that happen again. Anderson has played at an average to above average level ever since he made his debut. Extending him now, or soon, and ensuring he'll be a valuable supporter for the team in the future is something the Marlins shouldn't miss out on. I understand that the Marlins just signed Adam Duvall, and that the status of their television deal is shaky, but despite those issues, I believe extending Brian Anderson now will pay for itself in the future. In fact, the Marlins recently received approval to allow fans into Marlins Park at 25% capacity to start the 2021 season, which will offset some of the cost of extending him. I hope to see the Marlins make a push to extend their best position player before spring training is over. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.